Okay, welcome back. So this is how we finished. Let me just take a few steps back. So I'm going to undo the last corner that we finished. Just one undone there, and I'm going to undo those two chains. So I'm going to go back. This is the final corner to where I've got these two single crochets in that last stitch space, because we want to form our loop. So what we're going to do, I might just show you on a piece of paper. So we've got the corner of our work here, and what we're going to do, we're going to stitch some chains all the way up like this. That's what a chain stitch looks like in notation. We're going to stitch a loop of chains and we're going to attach it here with a slip stitch, and then we're going to work our way back around the chain with single crochet to make a loop, and then we'll finish it off. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. Alright, so we're back in this corner. I need to probably zoom out a little bit, bear with me. So we need to just work out the number of chains that you want for the size of the loop. So again, you can measure it. I'm just going to do, let me see, I might do about 20, I think. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think that'll be too short, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We'll have a look at that again, this camera. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just lay this corner out. So I need to be able to loop this chain back and make sure it's big enough, because when I stitch it's going to make it smaller. That's only like 3 or 4 centimeters as a loop. So I'm going to put those extra 5 chains on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for me, for this yarn and this project, I'm doing 20 chains. So you can see now, if I loop it back on itself, it's quite a reasonable size loop. And that's, if I stretched it out, is about 7 centimeters long when it's folded back on itself. So we need to attach our chain back into our work. So we're going to do that here. It's that second stitch in the corner where we join with a slip stitch with the plain edging. So through there and just a slip stitch, so it goes under, and then pull that tight. So now you should have your chain secured from that stitch there, and also secured back into this stitch here, and you've got a loop of chain stitches. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to turn our work over like we do when we're doing rows. So now we're going to work, I'll just get my yarn to the other side, that just is a bit fiddly. Then we're going to work, let me get the rest of that out of the way. We're going to work back into the chain, just the top into, what are we doing? We'll do under 2 loops of our chain. So let me zoom in a bit closer. Okay, so that's the end of my slip stitch. So this is the first chain here. And my camera likes focusing on the table. Right, so we go under the 2 loops. Again, this is a little bit tight. Then we're going to yarn over, pull it through, and then yarn over. So that's a single crochet. So it's a little bit fiddly again, like the first row, working into the chain, especially with this yarn. And we're just going to work around that length of chain stitches, putting single crochets in there. You can see now it's starting to form. We want a nice sturdy loop. You could just leave a loop of chains, but it may not be strong enough if there's a lot of washing. You know, for a flannel or a dishcloth, it's going to undergo a lot of washes. So we need something like the loop to be nice and strong and secure, so it's going to last. So you can see here, that's how our loop's looking now. We'll just carry on around that loop of chain stitches. What's happened there with my yarn? This yarn is annoying because look what's happened. I have got a knot. So anyway, I'll carry on along. I can just see this is not very happy right now. Let's just undo that last stitch. Just got a bit of loose thread. So probably what I will do is I'll go back and just join the yarn at the beginning of this part rather than have to deal with this knot. But anyway, let's continue around the chain. I'll just ignore that annoying knot as I go past it. It's just making all those fibres kind of a bit frayed. Anyway, let's carry on. Hope you can see this okay. So it's not going to be the prettiest loop with a knot of yarn in it, the middle of it, but I can go back and fix that later. And where's my next stitch going in here? Nearly there. In an ideal world, I would have double counted my chains and counted my stitches, but I'm not doing that today. Not with the loop anyway. And there we go. Nearly all the way down. Let's get that out of the way so you can see the bit I'm working on. Just turn that over. And I think that's the last one. There we go. So what's helpful is just to tidy up the join. You can see there it's a little bit gappy at the bottom of the loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down into that single crochet. I'm going to do another, I'll actually probably just do a slip stitch into there. Secure it, and I'll just have a look and see how that's sitting now. So you can see our loop. Let's just get everything out of the way so you can see how that looks. And if you need to, you can crochet back across the back and just secure that bit a little bit as well. It's just in the inside of the loop, just so that it's nice and strong. Let's have a look. Gotta keep getting the rest of the flannel out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Let's have a look. It looks pretty good to me. I'm going to leave it like that. Otherwise what we can do is turn the work and we could just join the loop together at the bottom. And just to secure it. Sorry, just to keep moving everything around. Just got to work out the way I need to join this. So what I'll probably do is I'll take a loop, excuse me, a loop out of the back of this and a loop out of the back of this chain here and just do an extra single. Ooh. I'm making this look way fiddlier than it is. Let me pull my hook out of there. I've got to move my yarn. Fiddle, 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 fiddle. Let's have a better look now. There we go. So this is where I've finished. And I've just turned the work again, so I'm on the wrong side of that loop stitch. So I'm just going to, like I said, go under that loop and go under this other loop here and just do one more extra single just to make it a little bit more secure in the center, and then I'm going to do a further slip stitch on this side. It's a little bit fiddly, but there we go. And then I can finish it. So let's lay it out. So I'll zoom out as long as my camera's going to stay there nicely. And that's how it looks. So we've got quite a big loop. Just ignore that messy bit with the yarn where the knot is, the join. And so we can cut that end. So again, what we need to do is pull our yarn through, make quite a long tail, and then we can cut that off, cut it at the end of the loop there, and then stitch in the ends. So I've kind of come across the front of the flannel there. I zoom back in when I've finished, just to secure it. So if you don't want to do that, you can work around the other side. Let's see if we can see properly. So you can see I've finished that and I've come across the corner there. It just means that loop's going to be nice and secure. So you will see this extra stitch on the top of the corner. When it's finished, it'll look more like that. So that's the option, one of the options on the edging, put a loop on it. So we just need to go over stitching, cutting off, stitching the ends in, and I'll do some extra tutorials on different versions of the edging that we could go around. Once we've got that base row, it's always good to get that base row in like this, then you can add a decorative edging on top. So I wouldn't try adding a decorative edging straight into these stitches down the edge here. It'd be much easier if we do a plain single row edging first, and then I can give you instructions to you could make some little loops, make it more decorative, these little frilly sort of edge, or what they call a scalloped edge, where it goes in and out. So what I might do is I might finish this and leave this loop like that, and I might demonstrate how to do a different edging along these other sides here, so you can see what that would look like as an option if you want to choose that. So if you've got any questions, queries, feedback, please let me know, and I'm looking forward to uploading these new videos so you can get your Project One finished, and maybe then you can give it to someone or you can start using it, which would be really nice. So I will come back and with a little demo of doing a scalloped edging and also how to sew in the ends. So we'll see you in the next two videos.